so beautiful. And I was like, oh, thanks. And he was like, we found everything funny, like burger, as you do, like weren't elegant with my dinner or whatever. I think he had a steak, and I was just like, we're going to cabin crew again, 100%. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought I would do a little Q&A. I've got the questions on my iPad here. Let's just crack on with it. How long have you been with Charlie? So me and Charlie have been together for 4 years. It was 4 years in June. So together on the 15th of June. That's when we started going out anyway. I wanted it to be on the 15th, and he was going to ask me out, and he'd been wanting to ask me out for ages, but I was ill, and it ended up being on the 15th, but oh yeah, I was really unwell. The reason we wanted it on the 15th is because my birthday is on the 15th, so is his. Mine's the 15th of Jan, his the 15th of August of 2003, and the day we got together, and it was just both our lucky numbers, so it was just perfect to just get together on the 15th. How did you meet Charlie? Me and Charlie met, well, we obviously knew each other at school. Let me just shut my window because I think everyone can hear. I'm back, honey, I'm back. Me and Charlie met at school. Well, obviously, the whole of secondary school, we went to the same secondary school, and I knew of him. I knew a Charlie Brown, and he knew me as well, and we were in completely different groups at school. Not like popular group or less popular. We were just in different groups, and we had different sets of friends. So we never really spoke. We'd see each other around school, but we'd never really like engaged. And all of a sudden, I think it was like end of year 10, he messaged me on Snapchat. I hate Snapchat. It's so young now. So he didn't slide into my DMs, he slid into my Snapchat, and he was just commenting on my pictures, and I just ignored, like, this is so horrible, but I actually ignored him, and I didn't want a boyfriend, because the following year were GCSE years in year 11, and yeah, I just said, I'm not bothered about a relationship. I don't even want to talk to no one, because I was just so fixed on GCSEs. And he was like, okay, fair enough. Carried on talking to me anyway, as like friends. And I just kept being like friend zoning him, being blunt, like back to him. And like, he weren't being blunt with me, I was just being blunt with him and trying to give him the like don't talk to me. I just wanted to crack on. Even though I did like him, I thought it was quite funny. And that is the first thing like a girl actually likes in it. If you think they're funny, then, and you find them attractive, then it's a win-win. And like, because that's what you want in it, as a boy to make you laugh. Did my GCSEs, and then still spoke to him the whole way through, and we got closer and closer. And then all of a sudden, we just hit it off, and he asked me out, as I said in my last question. And the next question actually is, where did he ask you out? And this is not romantic whatsoever, but he actually asked me out in my bedroom. I think he said something like, oh, you're so beautiful. And I was like, oh, thanks. And he was like, I'm just so cringy, ain't it? But yeah, that was the story. And we've been going out since. Actual funny thing is, he asked me out on a little date in the October, which is funny, we're in October now. And we went to TGI Fridays. I remember meeting my friend Lola. Shout out Lo. And me and her were just shopping in Zara. And I remember it being the old Zara in Bluewater. Who remembers that old Zara, like where it would go like upstairs, round by the lifts? Oh, it was just a weird Zara. It was tiny, not like now. And we were just shopping, and I said, like, obviously I'm meeting Charlie, and she knew him as well because we all went to the same school together. And I was like, I'm really nervous. She was like, go on, I'll let you go. Like, I won't come up with you. And I met Charlie, and he just hugged me, and he's like one of the shyest like boys. And he just hugged me, and he shocked me. I was like, what? All right, okay. So I hugged him back, and he was so cute. He'd gone and bought a new outfit. He had like this Kenzo jumper on with like these, I can't remember what jeans they were. They were a designer. And then he had like mallets on, I think. I was like, oh, you just look so cute. And he took me to TGI's, and we had the best day ever. Like, it was just hilarious. Like, we didn't stop talking. We found everything funny. Like, I had a massive burger, as you do. Like, weren't elegant with my dinner or whatever. I think he had a steak, and I was just like, my burger, and he's got a photo of me. like that. So every time we go out for burgers, we have to get a photo every time now. A really good day. And then we went on a second date, I think about a few weeks later or a month later. We were still at school at this time. We went to the cinema, and don't go to the cinema, guys. Especially when you want to get to know each other more and you want to talk. I'm so glad we didn't do that on our first date. It just messed everything up, to be honest. I was like, I'm not, like, he was still interested, and I was like, I'm not, like, we didn't do anything. All we did was watch a film, and it's just the worst date ever. Like, don't go, cinema dates are the worst. Like, just don't choose cinema. That is one mistake we made. And I remember it was called Night School was what we went to see. The film was good, but I was just like, no, I'm not interested. And then I was just like, right, so I just carried on my GCSEs, talked to him a little bit, but friend zoned him again. So he was just getting really annoyed. It was almost as if I was like messing him around, but I wasn't, I promise. I didn't know what I wanted. I was just confused. I wanted my GCSEs and I wanted to do well, and I didn't want a boy to distract me, but he was the type of boy that wouldn't distract you. He was so honest and just there for you, like he always is now with anything that I do, which brings me on to our next question. Why did you stop cabin crew? So as some of you know, I have done a video on here before. I did study travel and tourism, which is one of the questions. What did you study? I studied travel and tourism at college. It was amazing. Like, I loved it. I loved the course. It was for 2 years, went straight in on a level 3, and then we hit the pandemic when I was about to apply to be cabin crew. And you couldn't actually apply to be cabin crew anymore. There were no jobs. Like, people were getting made redundant because of the pandemic, and it was just a bad time. So we went into lockdown, and at the same time, when we didn't come out of lockdown, but it eased a little bit where we could sort of go back to college and decide what we wanted to do. And they opened up a level 4, which is equivalent to like a degree. And I did that, and I got a degree, and I got to graduate in the November just gone. So yeah, that was really good. So all in all, I did 3 years of travel and tourism. Then whilst I was at college, there was an induction day at Gatwick, and me and my friend went, that was doing the travel and tourism course with me. And I was like, where's this actually going to be? And she was like, I don't actually know. I don't think it's going to be an actual interview. And I was like, no, our assessment day. We were just being really silly. We was like, well, we haven't had an interview, and we haven't got, because normally that's with different types of airlines. Like, I know BA, not BA actually, but I know Virgin, you have to have the assessment, like, interview first, and then you get invited down to the assessment centre. But all airlines are different, it all varies. And yeah, I went down to the Gatwick hotel. It was the Sofitel, I think it was called. And they were like, yeah, so like, these are all the people you're meeting, da, da, da. And all of a sudden we had like a 5-stage interview, and I was like, I just winged it. I just went for experience, because I had never had a cabin crew interview before, and I know that cabin crew interviews can be quite hard to get into, as there is just a 5-stage. It's never just an interview and then you've got the job. It's very like role play, interacting with your team, how they know that you're communicating with your like the other people in the room. Then you have like a one-on-one interview on your own. But I have touched on that in my other video, which I'll link below. I was like, oh, let's just take this as experience. All of a sudden, I get an email literally as soon as I got home. It was like, you got the job. I was like, what? It was like, I think there was like 15 people, and it got down to 5. And then I'm guessing they go from there, or they might send them 5 candidates. I don't know. But yeah, I got in, and I was like really surprised. All of a sudden, Mum was like, do you know what? You've got nothing to lose. I know this isn't the airline that you actually want, which the airline I want is Virgin. I still do. And, or BA. But she said, just go for experience anyway. So I just went, absolutely just winged it, went to the training. The training was 6 weeks, extended to 8 weeks because of, I actually failed a few exams, and so did a couple of other my friends. They were really, really hard exams. And even that was experience, meeting new people and going down to the training centre in Luton and staying in a hotel. We stayed in the Marriott Hotel in Luton. It was lovely, and it was all for free. We got breakfast for free, our hotel for free, and the training we actually got paid for. Then it turned. Sometimes the trainers would never actually turn up to lessons. There were like delays of tests, like some of us failed, and it took ages to get us redone. And they were like, right, your test is on this day, and then they'd ring us up and say, no, it's not, it's actually next week. Like, and then we'd be like, well, we're in. So we'd go home, because we'd be like, we haven't seen our family, so we'd go home, and then we'd have to get called back. It was just an absolute nightmare. And then I started working for them for like 3-4 months, and the shifts were just, yeah, it was just so I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not. It was just difficult and very unorganised, and it made it more difficult the fact that it was new, and it didn't help the fact that it was really unorganised. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Do you want to go into cabin crew again? 100%. 100%. Absolutely, like, not going to let the company put me off. Like, do you know what I mean? Any workplace, you get bad days anywhere, and what's to say you won't go to another company? For example, you work in a recruitment team and it didn't go to plan, so you apply for another recruitment team, because it just depends on the company. It's got nothing to do with the job role itself. Yeah, it's always been a dream of mine, cabin crew, since I was like really young, and never knew what I wanted to actually do. So when cabin crew, me and my mum sat down and said about cabin crew, I was like, yes, that is me to a T. I have applied again for other airlines, long haul, short haul, airlines I actually want. Sorry, got to have lip gloss. I do want to do it again, and I am just waiting for email to come through. Yeah, I definitely do want to do it, and it's definitely not put me off. Long haul would be amazing, but short haul, I think for now, just to gain more experience, as I didn't get that with Wizz, and maybe work my way up to do long haul. But if I do long haul, I'm going to have to get a new car, which brings me on to my next question. What car do you drive, and how long have you been driving for? There's a hair on there. So I've been driving a year this month, so not long at all. I actually have a Volkswagen Polo. Was it a Golf? No, it's a VW Polo. It's a really, really good car. It runs around so well. Like I've done night shifts on it. I've done I've drove it in the snow. Like, it's lasted me so long. It's a really, really, really good car. So yeah, I've been driving a year this month. I am looking to get a new car, which if I was to do long haul cabin crew, I'm going to have to get a new car, and I am looking for, I've got my eye on one. I'm looking for either an Audi A1 or a Mercedes A-Class. They're the same sort of looking car, and I want it white, smudge. My boyfriend's got the black Audi and I want the white, so we could be matching. But yeah, that also brings me on to my first question. So Charlie's car is personalised number plate, which has got the number 15 in it. I won't say the number plate out loud, but it's got the number 15 in it. And I want as well, because we can be matching. So also that comes down to our birthdays, us getting together, and now it's on the cars, which is so cute. It's just adorable. The last question, I've got 2 more questions. How many children do you and Charlie want? It's all about Charlie, this vlog. We want 2. We said 2 or 4, or I'm pushing for 4. We don't want 3. I don't want odd. I don't want the 1. I don't want an odd number. I want an even amount of children. But we always say we always want to be in a financial position. We don't want children yet. I do want them in my 20s, because I do want to be like a youngish mum. But it all comes down to being financially stable, and it's not fair on the child if we bring it up. Do you know what I mean? 2 seconds, just ringing me. So yeah, the children, sorry, it was just ringing me, speak of the devil. We have actually got our names for kids. We really want boys, which is funny because everyone I speak to says, I can see you with boys, I can see you with only boys, which love a little girl. Any girl would love a girl, wouldn't they? Like, make it like a mini you. But yeah, definitely boys would be cute. I love twin boys, but there's no twins in the family. But I watch a YouTuber and she just had 2 twin boys, and there's no twins in her family, so it could just happen. Make a wish to come true. Does your mum and dad like Charlie? Of course, absolutely adore him. My dad and his dad play golf, and I've got a brother who's 16, same age, 17, sorry, and his brother's 16, and they get along really, really well. There's no sisters in the family, it's just boys. And then our mums are literally like the same. It's unreal, it's crazy. We meet over Christmas, and we meet, yeah, whenever there's an event, like they'll be there and we'll be there. Like, we're always, like, we're quite close. What did you do when you were studying at college, like work-wise? So when I came out of school, I was 16, literally the day after we finished school. I went, or maybe 2 days after, I can't really remember. I knew it was straight away. I started working in hospitality and events at Roe Hill Crane. Weddings that go on there, you've got restaurant, and I did the weddings and the events, and just giving out drinks and food and whatnot, which was like on a set menu. I loved it. It was really, really good. I met some amazing friends who I'm still in contact with now. So then I left there, went to college, and I got a job at Marks and Spencer's. And was there for like 2 years, and then I did, as soon as I hit 18, I did night shifts because it was more money and it was just convenient, and I did it in the winter. And then I started driving, so it was easy for me to get to do night shift, because obviously you can't do night shifts till you're 18 anyway, but also it was a bit unfair for my mum to be taking me at like 10 o'clock at night and picking me up at like 6, 7 in the morning, like when she was working as well. So I waited until I started driving, and then I did that. And yeah, and now I'm back in the, well, and then I did a bit of travel agents and cabin crew. But thanks for watching, and I hope that gives you a more in-depth into my life sort of thing. I'd love to do another one, so if you've got any more questions, then definitely head over to my Instagram. I normally do like a poll and I ask, and I'll put my Instagram in here. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any videos like this one, and speak soon. Bye.